Shall we start, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Namaste and a very warm welcome and good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Manisha Rana from RAV. I welcome all the participants, all the dignitaries present out there in 119th webinar, Gyan Ganga webinar, which is a series organized by Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapit. I welcome all the dignitaries present out there. I wholeheartedly welcome Padma Bhushan Vaidya, Dr. Devendra Trigunaji sir, President, Governing Body, Ministry of Ayush and RAV. I also welcome Vaidya Manoj Nesri ji sir, Advisor Ayurveda, Ministry of Ayush. I extend my warm welcome and gratitude to Dr. Kaustubh Upadhyay sir, who is Director RAV and Advisor Ministry of Ayush. And I also welcome all the Gurujans present out there and the participants who joined us and the participants who have joined us through social media platforms, for example, YouTube and Facebook. I welcome all the live participants. And I welcome today's guest speaker of the day, Dr. K. Sashidharan Kadli sir from Kerala. I would like to briefly introduce her with all of you. Dr. Sasidharan sir is from Kanjur, Kerala, Kochi. Sir is a great clinician, academician, and researcher in the field of Ayurveda and currently successfully running Sri Padam Ayurveda Chikitsalaya at Kanjur. Sir held a position of tutor at Government Ayurveda College, Trivandrum in 1997. Sir has remained lecturer, reader, professor, and hospital medical superintendent and vice principal in the Ayurveda College, Coimbatore for about 11 years. Sir held a position of reader at the prestigious institute Sri Shankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Kaladi, Kerala. Lastly, Sir was the principal and professor and HOD at Nangel Ayurveda Medical College, Kotamangaluru, Kerala, for about 8 years and got retired. During his career, he has held key positions in many universities like Member of Senate, Bharatian University, Coimbatore, UG and PG examiner in Calicut, Kerala, Dr. MGR Medical University, and member PG Board of Studies, Sri Shankaracharya University, Kaladi, Board of Studies, Amrita Medical College, Kollam, and Sri Jayendra Saraswati Ayurveda College, Chennai. Formerly, Sir remained Medical Superintendent cum Chief Advisor of Ayurveda Academy in Kerala, Ayurveda Hospital, Alva. A concern of Public Limited Company Kerala, Ayurveda Limited, Alva, Kerala. Got the prestigious Bhishak Ratna Award in 2009 and also become the health panel member of CII, South Indian chapter for 3 years. Totally around 20 plus years of experience as academician and more than 2 decades of experience in the experience of clinical and research in Ayurveda. Sir has presented numerous scientific papers in regional and national and international seminars and also published invaluable papers in approved journals. He has visited South Korea, US, and few other Asian countries for conducting series of lectures on Ayurveda under the invitation of various foreigner organizations or universities. So we are very fortunate to have you here today, and we are welcoming you to enlighten your deep insights on the topic Panchakarma and clinical practice. I once again wholeheartedly extend warm gratitude and warm welcome to you from the entire team of RAV, from the students and Gurujans. I welcome you, sir, once again. Sir, you are muted, sir. Sir, it's muted. Pratibha. Sir, it's muted. You have to unmute yourself. Hello, sir. Please unmute yourself. Hello.
Shashi sir,
Sir, your voice, you are not audible actually.
Okay, now I'm good. Okay, where is this? This one. That's clear now? Okay. Okay now. Okay, sorry for the interruption again. So, regarding the subject, Panchakarma is a very vast subject, and people in academy and as well as in practice, I don't know how far it is expecting from the practice level. So at the outset, I would like to speak on certain aspects which are very important and etymologically important. That is interdisciplinary nature of Ayurveda. Ayurveda is actually multidisciplinary in nature. It is connected to Vedanga, Subhaveda with reference to the foundation of the knowledge systems. Literally, it means knowledge of life, and Ayurveda is more than biological and goes beyond health. So that's very important factor. I'm just skipping to the next things. So we have our own tools of knowledge systems in Ayurveda, because according to the modern medicine or other developed, scientific research in physics, chemistry, or biology, or whatever it be, they have their own tools of knowledge. But as per Ayurveda is concerned, or our Indian knowledge system is concerned, we have certain tools of knowledge. We fully depend on that type of knowledge systems. One is Aptopadesha. I think everybody knows that actually, in fact. But how far we have to focus mainly on these aspects while we think in terms of pathology or Nidana or Samprapti, all those things to be considered in terms of the specific tools of knowledge in a disease process. Even Anumana, Yukti, Upamana, Pratyaksha, all these things are very, very important in assessment of certain conditions, because we are actually focusing on the signs and symptoms. Because when we go through the treatment aspects, we can see the bringing back the normalcy of doshas, and how the doshas bringing back the normalcy. We depend only on the signs and symptoms. So signs and symptoms actually expresses something is happening in the system. So those signs and symptoms actually fully dependent on the Aptopadesha, Anumana, Yukti, Upamana, Pratyaksha. Then coming to there are another aspect also. One is etymology. Otherwise, we can say Nirukti. Nirukti is an important part in the study of Ayurveda. It helps to understand the meaning of the words. It complements grammar to interpret the words and gives assistance to analyze the words by separating the component parts. It serves the protocol purpose of the verses actually. So etymologically, we say etymology is very important in Ayurveda. We depend on etymological aspect. Or suppose even a word is seen, suppose vada, vagadiganthariyo vada. So there every meaning, every word has its own etymological meaning, or otherwise you can say nirukti. So when we go through these scriptures, or even we go to the textual descriptions, or even when we go through the Vyakhyanas, Chakrabani Vyakhyana or Ashtanga Hridaya's, Sundari Vyakhyana, or whatever it be, or Susrata's Vyakhyana, everything has its own importance actually. So depending on these etymological factors, we understand what is going on inside the system. So suppose when we go through the pathology or whatever it be, every word is connected to its etymological meaning. That is very important when we understand the importance of our Ayurveda terminologies. And even when we go through the words also, when we can see this, for example, Samyak Siddhi Lakshanas. So Samyak Siddhi Lakshanas are explained in many ways. Or Samyak Bhakti Lakshanas, so Panchakarmas are optimum symptoms are there when it is obtained the optimal level of purifications. So there we can see so many words are there. So all those words actually indicate certain important words what is happening in the system. So words are of three types. When I am just telling about these things, why? Because we are actually keeping away from all those things. We have to focus on these aspects. When we do the research or when we do the clinical aspect, when we do the practice, we have to go through all these aspects while we examine the internal or external aspects of pathological conditions. Even words actually contain some sort of Vyakarana and Nirukta. Vyakarana and Nirukta are complementary to each other. Why I'm telling all those things are, we are actually not focusing on these aspects. We are just peripherally we are telling so many things. When we think in terms of dosha, we unnecessarily we translate it to modern terminologies actually. That is very bad. So we have to go through the Sanskritized, the terminologies, Nirukti, Vyakarana, all those things to be understand. Vyakarana and Nirukti are complementary to each other. Vyakarana deals with the structure of the word. On the other hand, Nirukta is all about the interpretation of the meaning conveyed by the word. This is very, very important. So each and every signs and symptom, even a disease management or when we go to the treatment aspect also, the words are very, very important. And the word actually interprets all meanings conveyed by the word. That's very important. So Nirukta is the practical aspect of Vyakarana, similar to pure science and technology. As Ayurveda is a clinical science, hence most emphasis should be given on Nirukta and Nirukti. So this is a very important factor I'm telling at the onset. Then coming to another point, we are coming to so why we are actually focusing on dosha, or are we focusing on dhatu samya or dosha? Is it similarities are there? I think. So what is even Charaka says that ityuktam karanam sarvam. Ityuktam karana in first chapter of Charaka Samhita. There's a sloga Charaka Sutra Sana Chitsa Pitra Soda. Ityuktam karana sarvam. What that does not exist any other means for the maintenance of good health except all these things. So means for achieving good health is Dravya, Guna, Karma, Samanya, Vishesha, and Samavaya. These are the very, very important factors in the management of or analyzing a disease condition, analyzing a clinical conditions. So why the guna properties are important? Why the karma of the drug is important? Why a karma of the procedure is important? Or why samanya of a procedure is important? When vishesha of the procedure is important. Because each and every point, each and every word is connected to its connected to certain aspect of its meaningful achievements actually. So Charaka says that he never explains there regarding the dosha they actually. So there he explains the Drivya Guna Karma Samanya Vishesha Samavaya etc. So there does not exist any other means for the maintenance of good health. So even the dosha Vigalpana or dosha Koba or whatever it be, it all happens by the Samanya Vishesha Sagalpa or Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta actually. So Samanya is generic concomitants and Vishesha is the incubating variant. These two factors are very, very important in understanding a conditions. Then when coming to the disease process, so why I'm telling is when we focus on certain areas of the treatment, the clinical aspect, even disease management is not a single drug management. That's according to Ayurveda. This is a multiple therapies or multiple management of a disease. we focus on variables also. The state of inconsistency in tissue level is happening in every diseases. So depending on the type of inconsistencies, whether dosha shodhana is to be done there or shamana to be done there, that is very, very important. And dhadus are the expressions of dosha. These are to be explained in that way only. Hence, eventually results in dosha imbalance. So dosha imbalance is actually dhatu asatya avastha. So dhatu asatya avastha is the expression of the imbalance of dosha, or otherwise we can say when the dosha is increased, it expresses in the dhatu itself. So otherwise we can say dosha itself is dhatu, so dhatu itself is dosha. You can say in that way also. So doshas and dhatus undergo reciprocal vitiation, resulting in manifestation of a disease. So this is very important factor when the inconsistency in tissue level. So we describe it as Srodhas level. In each Srodhas constitute certain areas where, supposedly, for example, when the Rasadhatu is getting some inconsistency, or Riktadhatu undergoes some sort of inconsistency, or Mamsadhatu undergoes some sort of inconsistency due to doshas, that interaction needs to be understood in terms of certain signs and symptoms. When Vada is vitiating in Rasadhatu, or a Rasa itself getting vitiated by some other reasons, we get different signs and symptoms. So those to be evaluated in conducting of a disease or conducting of the in the conduct of the in the conduct of certain aspects, conduct of certain treatments. That's a very important thing. So actually, what is treatment? Treatment is bringing back the physiological balance, or otherwise we can say we are bringing back the dosha samya. It is the principle of treatment. And this involves a series of procedures consisting of internal and external medications. Treatments are broadly divided into two, that is Lankana and Brahmana. Ahara and Ajara are also important. So treatment is actually, we are bringing back the physiological balance. See, when there's a when one Srodhas is getting problem, that Srodhas undergoes some sort of inconsistency, or otherwise you can say dhatu asatmatva is there. It's normal physiology or normal properties and functions of that particular dhatu getting deranged. So that derangement may be due to so many factors. There are reasons for Rasadhatu, Rasavagi Srodha Dushti, Karnas are described, or we have to focus on certain these type of Srodha Dushti Lashanas. Then only we can administer which karma or which procedure is to be done there, or which medicine to be administered in that particular conditions. So dosha, dosha, vikalpana, or otherwise we get dosha vikalpana is very important. Even nowadays, I think in treatment procedures, the dosha vikalpana and guna vikalpana is less, getting very much less important, I think. So dosha vikalpana as well as guna vikalpana, very, very important. So that is understood by certain signs and symptoms. When, as I told you, when the rasa is vitiated by vada, or the recta is getting vitiated by vada, that recta or the recta itself getting vitiated by some other forces, or the recta get avrana. So these things are very, very discriminating in understanding the particular conditions, and we have to be very careful in selection of the treatments, or otherwise we can say even for, I will come to that point also. So each procedure actually, so many, when we come to the aspect of certain treatment aspects, the treatment actually there are many variables also is considered. So many variables are described. Dusham, Desham, Velam, Kalam, Anilam, Pragriti, Vaya, Sattum, Satma, Tadahar, Avastha, so many variables are described. Likewise, in the Rasavashika Sutra, there is another text is there, Rasavashika Sutra, and it actually describes so many variables again. So there also, so the point what I'm explaining is the one drug for one disease is illogical, because we are correcting the imbalance in the system. Imbalance in the system means the dosha or otherwise dhatu asatma vigara or dhatu asatmatva. We are correcting the dhatu asatmatva to the satma vigara. Otherwise, we can say when rasadhatu is there, rasadhatu has its own properties and functions. Each dhatu has its own properties and function. That is the sarmitva. So when there is asatmatva happening there due to dosha vigalpana, guna vigalpana, like earlier I told you, like the samanya vishesha siddhanta, there the inconsistency is happening there. The srodho dushti is happening there. So to depending on the extent of the duty, we have to consider that whether Shamanji is to be done or Shodhana is to be done there. So this point of treatment, this point is very, very important. That's why even Acharya says that Naitam Demevam Pradhanam Vidamevam Nedi Rogaya Avasthanam Vidhanam Pradhanam. In every disease, there is a contextual interventions. The contextual interventions are very, very important. Why? Because in every disease, because disease is not a static entity. So the static, as the disease is not a static entity, it always transforms. So each condition, each state of the disease is very important in considering the procedures, even whatever the Shamana Chikitsa is done there or Shodhana Chikitsa is done there. So that context is very, very important. Immediately bringing a patient, or suppose a patient comes to you and then start Panchakarma, that is not good also. So we have to evaluate whether this condition or the disease is compatible to have the Panchakarma treatment there. So that's very, very important. So in fact, the bringing back the dosha samya or otherwise dhatu satma dvaya is very, very important in all the conditions. So the dosha avastha, the yoga avastha or state of the condition is very, very important. That's the yogayam avasthana vidhan pradhan or the context interventions are very important. Suppose when you go through the Jwara Chikitsa, you can see that the Amavastha is there, the Ramavastha is there, then goes on like number of medications are described. Even Rektamoksha also described in Jwara Chikitsa. So it's a context also. See, that context to be evaluated. So immediately after a patient comes to you and then starting Panchakarma is very, very bad. We have to evaluate the context of the conditions, context of disease, dosha, desham, bala, all the variables to be evaluated. Then only we finalize whether this particular disease requires a Panchakarma or particular disease requires Shamana Chikitsa or curative management or what medicine is required in that particular condition. So the yoga avastha is very, very important because we say in Ayurveda, yoga is not a static entity, it undergoes constant or continuous transformations. So even day by day, the disease will be changing. Even we have to be very sure about the medications we are giving there. Suppose if you give me Amrotram Kashayam or a Amahara Kashaya or Kvata or Churna, whatever it be, we have to be sure that that condition is getting alleviated there. And we have to see or observe the Niramavastha. And after that, we have to give another medications. So that's very, very important in every management of any disease. So that's why I told you this involves a series of procedures consisting of internal as well as external medications. Then coming to there are Shamana Chikitsa is also described. Shamana Chikitsa is most of the people basically most of the clinicians actually focus on Shamana Chikitsa. Why? Because it doesn't make any risk item. It's very problem. It's very important thing. This does not involve the expulsion of vitiated doshas. It's a very simple thing. So when we think in terms of Shamana Chikitsa, the modern medicine also is actually Shamana Chikitsa. They are curative in nature. So all curative management, you can see this does not involve the expulsion of the vitiated doshas from the body. That's very important. The procedures here bring back the vitiated dosha and help subside in its own side. That's simple. That's what Acharya says that this procedure is actually here bring back the vitiated doshas and help subside in its own side. It never actually aggravate. Actually, it brings to the normalcy there. So that doesn't involve any shodhana management here. In Kshina dosha state, so this is certain key important information given by Shusruta. In Kshina dosha or Kshina dosha state, Brahmana is advised. That's important. It's very, very important. In Kshina dosha state, Brahmana is advised. Pragavita doshas to be given Shamana Chikitsa and Pravritha doshas to be eliminated. This is a very important thing as Shusruta is explaining. This point is very, very important because when we have to discriminate whether the Pragavita doshas are there or if it is a Kshina doshas are there or Pravritha doshas are there. Actually, the Panchakarma or the Shodhana Chikitsa, elimination therapy is prescribed in Pravritha dosha or that much aggravation that should be there. Otherwise, the disease will be or the patient will be in danger otherwise when we give a very serious Shodhana therapy. So this point to be born in mind by every clinician. In Chirna dosha state, Brahmana is advised, Pragvida doshas to be given Samana, and Pravrita dosha to be eliminated. This is very important aspect of management. Then there are different shamanas are there. I think many of you have studied that. One Devana Bhajana, Chundigriha, Krishnandigriha, Vyayama, Adava Seva, Maridra Seva, particular medicinal combinations are advised. So among these different, we have seen so many different type of procedures or even management. Among these, the Devana Bhajana management, then Adava Seva, and then Maridra Seva, these are all, I think, basically we prescribe the Devana Bhajana and certain particular medicinal combinations are also advised. Just like, for example, in my practice, in the beginning, we start with some Ama Bhajana. Even before we do the Panchakarma, you have to do that. Immediately, we cannot do any Shodhana therapy there. So just before that, you have to evaluate the context of management, context of evaluation to be done, see the variables to be done, what are the variables, important variables are there. Then state of the condition to be evaluated, whether the Deepana, Amavastha is there, Viramavastha is there, or in which context that disease is coming, that patient is coming, with what context, or dosha state to be evaluated, all those things to be understood properly, and then only we have to find out which combination is apt for this particular condition. This is very important fact, because why? Because many of the people, many conditions, many of the diseases are not discriminated according to the textual prescription. That's very important thing. Many of the diseases are not evaluated as per the textual prescriptions. This is very, very important in the management of your disease. So that's why there are different, even the Shamana therapies also, we can proceed with that in certain conditions. Then coming to the Shodhana type. And even this is a purification method where this involves a series of external and internal procedures. Advice with Prabhuda dosha stage. That's very, very important. Divided into Bahi Parimardana and Andha Parimardana. Our Bahi Parimardana is Purva Karmas, Andha Parimardana is the Panchakarmas. Otherwise, you can see the link that way only. So Shodhana is the first point of purification. Shodhana therapy is we have to see that it is advised a Prabhuda dosha state. So there are three different states we have understood. One is Chirna dosha, then we see the Brahmana state is advised, Pragvita dosha is also state. Yeah. Hello? In Prabhuda dosha state only, we have to be very careful in evaluating that condition. It is divided into Bahi Parimardana and Anta Parimardana. Then coming to the Bahi Parimardana, actually, in many places, the Abhyanga, Sneha, there is a Snehana internal, external, then Svedana, Parishega, Udvartana, Dhara, Pirichil, Pindasvedas, all these are Bahi Parimardana karmas. There are various things are again, it is described there. Then I will just go through that. Actually, Abhyanga, Svedana, Parishega, Udvartana, Dhara, Pirichil. So there are certain particular procedures which are actually practiced in certain part of India. Even certain in Kerala, we have certain particular procedures are described in, like, the different type of Pindasvedas we practice here in particular conditions are there. So the Bahi Parimardana, it's many places the Bahi Parimardana is identified as a Panchakarma. That's not good also. That's a bad impression. Bahi Parimardana is the Pura Karma section. This Bahi Parimardana is very Pura. That when we come into the Ushma Svedas are there. This Bahi Parimardana, Sabhyanga, Svedana, Marishega. I'm just going through certain important aspects, the clinical aspects, clinically practical aspects. I'm just telling about these things. And regarding the Ushma Svedas, there are different Tapa, Upana, Ushma, Travabheda, Chaturvida. These are the Svedas described in text. Tapa, Upana, Ushma, Travabheda, Chaturvida. Among that, Ushma Svedas are practiced in practice, I think. Ushma Svedas are mainly practiced in the practice. One is Pinda Svedas are there, Samstara Svedas are there, Nadi Svedas are there, Ghanashma Swedas, Kumpi Sweda, Kuba Sweda, Jendava Sweda. These are all Ushma Sweda. It comes under the Ushma Swedas. Then among the Ushma Swedas, even the Pinda Sweda, Samstara Sweda, Nadi Sweda, Ghanashma Sweda, Kumpi Sweda, Kuba Sweda, all these things are there, even Ushma Swedas. The Pinda Swedas are usually much more used in the practice actually. So what are the Pinda Swedas usually? So these are the Swedana, actually Snehana and Snehana, earlier we discussed the Snehanas are there. And the Sneha and Swedas are the precursors or the main treatment or Panchakarma. The precursors with why the precursors or why the Pura Karmas, otherwise a prerequisite, we can say it's prerequisite. The prerequisites of Panchakarma are Sneha and Sweda. And among that, very importantly, we are discussing certain areas. I'm not going through all the areas which are more prevalent in practice. I'm just telling about that only. So among the Svedanas, we have seen Tapa, Upanaha, Drava, Ushma, like that. Then Ushma Sweda we can see. Then in the Ushma Sweda, there are Pinda Swedas are there, and the Pinda Swedas are mainly based on certain particular procedures. So why this Sneha and Sweda is described, or what condition all these things are administered? That's very important clinically. So when we go through these different type of Swedas, we have seen so many things are there. See, the Podikidi is there, Churna Swedas are there, Churna Pinda Swedas are there, then Patra Pinda Sweda or Ilakidi is there, then Navaratepo or Navarakidi is there, then Navadhanya Kidi is there, then Naranga Kidi, Jambiri Pinda Swedas are there. So in different parts of, or otherwise you can say in different areas, you can see different type of fitness weather sometimes. You can see that. But in my practice, I usually mainly or otherwise we use this type of fitness weathers mainly. So why this Sneha and Sweda? Because Sneha and Svedana actually are the prerequisites Panchakarma I told you. So that is why, because we bring down all these dosha or initiated doshas to the koshta by the Sneha Vedas and then try to eliminate from the koshtas by the Shodra Karma. That's simple. That is the logic behind that. Everybody knows that. But among that, why this varied type of Vedas are described? Why these different type of Vedas are described? That's very important. Many places the Pindasvedas are Pindasvedas are only done there. Many places, not the Shodrajas are not done. Even if some Abhyanga is done, or otherwise you can say Abhyanga and Sweda, Abhyanga Sweda is done. One steam bath is done. But steam is not advised in many conditions. Why? Because depending on steam always is actually it stimulates the involvement of the Lena dosha to the or drains the Lena dosha to the koshta. That's important thing in Sweda actually. Or Ushna Snigdha. The Ushna Snigdha treatment, Snigdhoshna treatment. This is the Snigdhoshna treatment. So when we come to the Pindasveda, you can see again that different type of Pindasvedas are there clinically. So I'm just focusing on certain areas only. So there are electrics are there, podikid. So there are, when we can categorize these things like that. The Churna Pindasvedas, Patra Pindasvedas, then comes the Navarak Kidi is there, or rice kidi, boiled rice kidi, like that with the milk. Then the Jambiri Pindasvedas are there. So what will be the procedures? In what condition we can do all those things? That's very important. Because when the patient comes here with a little bit amavastha, then we should not give a procedure which will aggravate that amavastha. That's very, very important. We cannot give a procedure which will aggravate the amavastha or which will aggravate the Srodhodushti there. That's very, very important. Why? Because in many of the procedures, uh, in many of these procedures, the action of the Churna Pindasvada is different from Navarikiri, or the action of Navadhanyakiri is different from Patra Pindasvada. So these things to be discriminated in practice. That's very important thing. Why? Because when we discuss in terms of Dhanya Pindasvada, Dhanyamala or Navadhanyakiri, in Navadhanyakiri we use actually Kulatha, then Sesam, green gram, no, the black gram, shadahwa, methi, all those things are used. All these things are powdered and make it into balls and it's applied there. So this is given, this is the Ruksha Sweda. So we can say the Pinda Swedas are also having certain type of Ruksha Sweda or Ruksha Sweda, Ruksha, then Snigdha Swedas are also there. The Snigdha Swedas as well as Ruksha Swedas also there Pinda Sweda. You can see that. The Navadhanikri and Churna Pinda Sweda are, we can say it is Ruksha Swedas. And in all conditions, you start with the Churna Sweda, not with the Navarakiri. It's very bad. And even the Elekiri or Patrapinda Sweda also to be done after the Podikiri, I think. We use in our practice, we use the Churna Sweda at the beginning. Because that will open up all these processes and then the Ushna Sinta management is applicable there. The Navarakiri is actually a rice management, rice policy is actually a Birmana treatment. We need certain type of degenerative diseases, multiple sclerosis, even muscular atrophies, all those things we can do that in that condition. But still, the beginning should be started with the Podikidi or Chondapandasveda. Or otherwise, we can say Dhanyamala Pandasveda also there. Even without oil, we start this Pandasveda. Without oil, we should not apply oil anywhere. Without oil, we have to start the Chondapandasveda. And you simply start the Chondapandasveda, then later you can shift applying on the body the same Pandasveda to be done, and after that you can give Patra Pandasveda. So beginning always should be with the Churna Pandasveda, Ruksha Sweda to be given. Then gradually, when the condition changes, that to be changed to the Patra Pandasveda or Navaragiri like that. So that should be the procedure. That is my observation. My practice is like that, and we give tremendous results also in many conditions. Immediately, patient should not be started with Navaragiri or even Naringa or Jambiri Pandasveda like that. It's very bad also. Then coming to the Dravasvedas, there are different type of Dravasvedas out there. So this also I'm just telling about certain clinically important. Pidichil is there, Dhanyamala Dhara is there, Kashaya Dhara is there, Taila Dhara is there, Takkar Dhara is there, Chireva Dhara is there. So among these, usually after the Ruksha Sweda we can do Pidichil. That's important thing. Or otherwise we can say Dhanyamala Dhara. We start with Dhanyamala Dhara, then after later period, after 2-3 days, we can do the Pidichil. Or even start with the Kashaya Dhara like that. Start with the Kashaya Dhara. Then, so initially all the management should be with the Ruksha Sweda like that. Generally when we talk about management, initially start with some Ruksha management like the Kashaya Dhara or Dhanyamala Dhara, and later shift to the Taila Dhara or Pidichil like that. So that should be the clear-cut approach in management or in application of the Vedas. Even Shera Dhara also to be given in that manner only. So immediately beginning should not be with the Pidichil or with oil application. It should be a Ruksha management. That is my clinical observations. Then coming to the Panchakarmas, otherwise you can say Andhaparimarjana or purificatory procedures. So just we have gone through certain areas of Snehana and Swedana. Snehana actually we can give certain ghee preparations in Snehana, and in Swedana we have seen so many type of Sweda prakriyas. Even Pinda Swedas are there. Even Abhinga, and the Pidichil actually say simultaneously in Pidichil we are giving simultaneously Snehana and Swedana. That's important thing. That's why people are very much interested to have Pidichil treatment. Pouring oil over the body. So that's also an important thing. So the fundamental thing is that start with some Ruksha treatment and later you shift to the oil treatment. That must be the logic behind the application of the Snehana and Swedana. In Snehana treatment also, in Swedana treatment also, that theory to be kept in mind in practice. That's the clinical importance when we go through all those things. Then Panchakarmas, coming to the Panchakarma, I think everybody knows that Panchakarmas, but actually, why these Panchakarmas are important? This is intended to eliminate the vitiated doshas from Koshna after draining it from Dhatu by your Purvakarma. So Purvakarma is very important. Or otherwise, we can say the Purvakarma generates some sort of nucleation and tends to move from Dhadus to Koshna. So without Utklesha, or otherwise we can say, the Acharya says that Anutklesha dosha cannot be eliminated. Or this involves various internal, external procedures. So only the moment when the dosha gets Utklesha by Snehana and Svedana, it trains or moves from the dhadus to koshta. That's clear-cut explanation. The Acharya says that. So the vitiated doshas from koshta, after draining it from the dhatu by your puru karma, is actually eliminated. That is the panchakarmas actually. So panchakarma actually is a purificatory procedure, or otherwise you can say the shodhana therapy. And also to be bear in mind that it is intended or it is prescribed in prabhuda dosha. This prabhuda dosha should be given. That should be evaluated immediately after seeing a patient. Oh, you have this condition. We'll do the panchakarma. I have seen many patients coming to me. I need panchakarma like that. People come and ask me like that. But that's not a good procedure. You should examine the patient, then evaluate the conditions, condition of the disease, condition of the so many variables to be examined. Then only we have to decide whether which panchakarma, which karma to be eliminated, to be selected there. And all panchakarma is not to be done in one patient. Sometimes it may cause danger also. So we have to understand which karma is suitable for that particular condition, particular patient. Sometimes Vamana will be suitable. Sometimes Virejana will be suitable. Sometimes Vasti will be suitable. Sometimes Virejana and Vasti will be suitable, depending on the climate or the condition, climate or the particular location. That also is very important thing. So the importance of Panchakarma is the inconsistency of the dosha, the inconsistent biological wastes are carried to the koshna, and then that's eliminated. And for that only we are focusing on all these procedures. So these procedures are very, very important. So that's why I told you. So the properties which are supposed, for example, Churna Pandaswada is given, then Patra Pandaswada is given. So when Patra Pandaswada is given, it can create so much of fire inside this, or it can increase the pitta there. But if the Shira Pandaswada is given, or otherwise when the rice Pandaswada is given, it will subside the pitta there. So that is the discriminatory aspect of procedures. And even multiple therapies are not good also. Even suppose in the morning, sometimes people ask, no, I want, Patra Pandaswada in the morning. Evening, I need a Jambiri Pandaswada, or even Navarakti, I need evening time. So that type of multiple therapies are illogical. It's very bad also. In many centers, I have seen that multiple therapies in a day or 2 days, they do this thing, that thing. That's very, very bad because body cannot afford to do such procedures. That's very important thing. Then coming to the Snehanas, this has two parts. That is the when I told the Snehana aspect is the Sneha, the Abhyantara Sneha and the Bhakya Sneha. This has two parts like that. Abhyantara Snehana is standard administration medicinal ghee in prescribed doses after a certain period of depending on the disease. Bhakya Snehana is administration medicinal oil or the body. That's Abhyanga. So Abhyantara Snehana is internal administration medicated ghee. So this also not seen as per the text in many places. I have seen that. In many places that dosage is not correct. Many places the proper Medicare ghee is not administered. For namesake, the ghee is given. That's very bad. That's what I'm telling. So there are the variables to examine, dosha to be examined, all those things to be examined. Then only that particular procedure to be corrected there. So in pitta condition, what ghee to be given, or in vada condition, which ghee to be given as a prerequisite of snehana. So these are the very important thing. There is a textual concurrence should be there. When whatever we do have should have a textual concurrence. That's very, very important. Otherwise, the results may not be there. That's a important thing. And here we can see that this I am just the same thing I am coming again. The Agnigrita and Anagnigrita Swedana is Snehana and Swedana. I'm just repeating again that thing. The Agnigrita type is 4 types: Taba, Vanaha, Ushma, Dravabheda. Among that, Ushma Sweda we have discussed in many ways. Different type of Pindaswada, Stani Sweda. And in Pindaswada we described various things. So actually, The Svedana are also very important. Even the Acharyas have never explained regarding the steam bath. Steam bath, the temperature is too high actually. In many places, even there are even certain diseases are not indicated there Svedana. Even for diabetes, for example, Prameha Roga. In Prameha Roga, actually that disease is due to klesha or as much of kleda is there. So in a condition where kleda condition is more there, Svedana is to be restricted there. That's very important thing. The steam bath cannot be given there. That's my. I have seen many wrong procedures many places. Coming there and then giving abhyanga and steam bath in many countries without going through the details of the conditions. That's very very bad. So what Sweda to be given, or whether it is as I told you, there are Ushna Swedas are there, Snigdha Swedas are there, then Snigdha Ushna, Snigdhoshna Swedas are there. So these three categories to be examined. Ushna Sweda, Snigdha Sweda, Ushna Snigdha Sweda. These are very important. Even Drava Sweda, Parishega, Kais, and all those we discussed just earlier. So these are very important thing. So as far as in skin disease, in many skin disorders, we cannot give Svedana there. So there are these are very important things which many practitioners or many people visit actually. That's a great very harm we are doing to the science actually. So Snehana and Svedana are very very important, and it brings the vitiated doshas. Otherwise, it brings the inconsistent doshas from the dhatu level, tissue level, and that should be moving only in a utklesh avastha. We have to wait for that, whether this Snehana and Svedana, then Viklesha to be given, Viklesha to be produced or created, then only either Vamana or Virajana to be done there. That's very, very important. And even people don't wait for that also. Even Snehana, for example, when there are different type of matras are described in Snehana, like the Prasomatra, like that, even Prasomatra in different matras are Uttam matras. So many matras are described in text. Sneha vidhis are there. Sneha vidhis are there. But just I'm not going to the detail. But still I'm telling that the matra also very important. When people have seen that the 3 days snehana, 3 days snehana, mandate, like 3 days snehana, then 3 days vedana, then 4th day this thing, that thing, like that. It's actually a planned thing. That planning may not be acceptable in many conditions because 3 days, how the patient will get to Viklasha by 3 days snehana, or otherwise some extent the Lashna will be attained by 3 days. It's not possible, I think, sometimes. So I have seen certain places where all the people are sitting together and then giving snehana to everybody the same thing like that. So I don't know to what extent it will be effective in many conditions. So usually it is very much personalized thing. Which sneha to be given there, which condition to be there. That is very important thing. So sneha sweda is very very important in as a prerequisite of Panchakarma therapies. And even without doing, suppose if a person underwent Panchakarma or even Sneha Sweda and misguide them with the Panchakarma, it's very bad. Because unless the patient undergoes some sort of Basti or Virajana, that treatment is incomplete. I have seen many patients complaining that I have done this thing, that thing. And I understand that was not the real Panchakarma done many places. So that is to be very important thing. So Snehana and Svedana, while selecting the Snehana, for selecting the Sneha, we should very important, very much selective in conditional variables. Then coming to the Vaman Vidhi. So Vaman is indicated in Kapha Vikaras, or otherwise we can say uh, in Kapha Vigara and Kapha Pradhana, Samsargaja Vigaras and Urtha Vigaras. And this is very important. In Kapha Pradhana Vigaras, Kapha Vigara and Kapha Pradhana Samsargaja Vigara. So here Kapha is very, in any disease, suppose when we say, many of the diseases, when we go through the progression of a disease, the disease actually a characteristic with the kapha predominant in the beginning, or there are diseases with the kapha increase, kapha appreciation itself is there. So the kapha is the kapha predominance is there. You can do in certain conditions are excluded also. Acharyas have indicated, contraindicated its administration in various conditions. Various common kalpas are indicated different diseases. Even the women also indicate many diseases. And shortly, I have discussed these are the many diseases which we have done the woman treatment: Kushta rogas, Visarpa, Granthi, and Swasa and Sleepada. Among these, Swasa Vigara and then Visarpa, Kushta, these are very common conditions where Vamana could be done there. So this is more or less. Otherwise, we can say even Visarpa also is very much carefully done. Basically, Kushta, Swasa, Granthi, all these things are Kapha Pradhana, or otherwise we can Visarpa, we cannot see it as Kapha Pradhana, but Visarpa is actually Pitta Pradhana. So there we should be very careful. Only when the Kapha is dominance is that we can do the Kapha or we can do the woman there. Then coming to the Virechana, then Virechana is a very common practice, very common procedure we are doing in many places. Actually, it is an induced purgation. It's indicated in Pitta Pradhana condition. So that difference should be very much important. When Vamana is done in the Kapha Pradhana condition, whereas Pitta Pradhana condition to be given the Virejana. In the Acharyas have indicated that contraindicated is administered various conditions. Various Virejana kalpas are indicating different diseases. Trivrtaleha, Kalyana, Gula, Avipatti Churna, Vilangana Churna, etc. commonly used. So here what we have to be very careful in clinical practice is there are a number of Virejana yogas. Are we focusing on dosha vikalpana there? I think many are not actually focusing on the dosha vikalpana and guna vikalpana. So, for example, I will see certain indicators of disease like Vadarekta, Vispoda, Kamala, Vrana, Vidrati, Gulma. These are the diseases, major diseases we can give it. So, how we are, what the combinations. These are Pitta Pradhana actually. In Vadarekta, we can see Vidaha is there, Vidahana, Viruddhan Jadara, Samprapti is described. Then Vispoda also is more Pitta Pradhana, Kamala is Pitta Pradhana, Vrana is Shobha, Vrana Shobha is there, Vidrati. So, these are all Pitta Pradhana Vigaras, whereas even I see certain uh, combination. This is very important thing. Very importantly, these are the yogas, the commonly used combinations for Virejana. Avipatti Churna, Trivrit Churna Leha, Vilangatandala Churna, Kalyana Vegulam, and Eranda time. So is it necessary or is it mandatory that we should use all these combinations in one patient? It's very bad. So this we have to be very discriminatory in administration of the medicines like that. Avipatti Churna usually we prescribe in Pitta Pradhana Rogas, Vaittika Vigaras, like in Amlapitas or Vatarikta or Vispoda, Kaman, all those diseases we prescribe with Ayubati Churna. Whereas Bilangadandila Churna is prescribed in Kapha Pradhana Rogas, Kaphadika Vigaras. When Kapha associated Pitta Vigara. Kapha associated Pitta Vigara, we have to be very careful in giving particular combinations. Even Kalyana Gula. So, even Trivut Churna, Trivut Sukha Virejanana, like in Agrivosa is Trivut Leha. That could be given in many ways actually. So here the dosha vikalpana to be understood. Kalyana Vigula here. So in Vada Pradhana condition can be eranda there. Or Gandharvastha eranda is there. In Gandharvastha eranda, you can see in Vada Vyadis, we usually prescribe the Gandharvastha eranda there in Virejana, for Virejana. Gandharvastha eranda there. But this Gandharvastha eranda is not prescribed in Vadarekta. That's important thing. Why? Because in Gandharvastha eranda is good for, because all Tailas are having some sort of Vidaha Subhava. Whereas in Vadarekta, If necessarily, we can give Erenda Thaila, but with the Nimbamrda the Erenda. Or Erenda Thaila processed with Tiktarasa Dravyas. That means that particular rasa is acting there, that pitta, or otherwise we can say mother rasa dravyas, otherwise pitta rasa dravyas. These are pittahara rasas. So the drugs processed with that things the iron direct to be given in vadarekta, or otherwise we can say in pittadiga lashnas pitta pradhana vada vigaras. Otherwise we can say like that only. So, actually what I'm telling you is the discrimination to be done with the doshas and dhadus. Or if a disease is prevalent in Rekta Dhadu, it is better not to give air and the but we have to give Avipathe Churna or Tribut flavor. Whereas a procedure is to be given Virejana to be done in a disease where Mamsa Dhadu is involved, like Virendhi, Abaji, like that, then Bulangadandila Churna will be effective. So this is a way of approach in giving Virejana Drivya, Virejana Yogas. Not that a single formulation is kept in the pharmacy and giving that formulation to everybody is not good. It's very bad also. That's against the scriptural prescriptions. So dosha to be considered. There are a number of Virejana Yogas are described in Ayurveda, in textual description. So each are described in particular conditions. Each are prescribed in different conditions. You can see that. Even Tribur Churna, if that Tribur Churna is given with Tribala Churna, it will be good for Kapadiga Vikaras. If the same Tribur Churna is given with the grape juice, it is a Pitta Vikaras. So beautifully it is described. The Tribur Churna, it is given with the grape juice or otherwise Draksha juice, that is good for Pitta Vikaras. Or Tribur Churna mixed with the Tribala Churna, Tribala Kashaya, that is good for Kapadiga Vikaras. Or we can say Namavtar to be given there. When you want to build a it's exclusively for Kapadiga Vikaras. Or Vada Kapha Vikaras, you can say Vilagandra Churna. If there's a Urustambala conditions, then we can for heaviness is there. Or we have to see the evaluate the signs and symptoms of Kapha there. Heaviness, then numbness, all those things. So that in that way only we have to discriminate the which dosha or which yoga to be given there. That's very, very important thing. Then coming to the Nasya treatment. Nasya is the indicated in Urdhajatra Vigaras, ear, nose, and eye disease, and heart-related disease. Virejana, Brahmana, and Shamana are three types. There are Matra and Swarana through three types, Marsha and Pradimarsha. Pradimarsha and Nasya could be attention irrespective of any objections. So this is very important. So many people actually do Pradimarsha Nasya commonly. Common Nasya attention Pradimarsha. Pradimarsha Nasya does it 2 drops. 2 drops is very simple thing, and irrespective of any condition you can do that. But still Nasya the administration to be given before bath. That's very important. Nasya is given before bath. After brushing the teeth, that actually can give the Nasya. That could be given there. So that's very important thing. So even 2 drops to 4 drops you can give there. 2 drops you can give there. So this is very important. So whether the Virejana is, Nasya is in the purpose of Virejana or it should be in the purpose of Brahmana or for the purpose of Shamana, these are to be decided, and accordingly the formulation to be described. See, understand? So there are certain juices are given. Avabindaga Nasyas, like that. Then Thaira Nasyas, Virejana Nasyas are there. Anadaila like thing. The Shamana Nasyas are also there. So these are very, very important while giving a Nasya treatment. Simply, in the sake of a procedure, we cannot give a common product as Nasya. It's very, very bad. We have to be discriminative in many conditions. It comes to Nasya Vasti treatment. It's very common practice prevalent in many places, but still many places they are not practicing this Vasti treatment. Kashaya Vasti and Sneha Vasti are the 2 types. Then Uttara Vasti also is another type. Vasti is considered the most ideal treatment among all other treatments. Vasti is indicated in Kevalavada condition, Vada, Pradhana, Samsarga, Sannivada state. So this is the Vasti treatment. Actually, it is a Artha Chikitsa. Charaka Chikitsa or even Charaka Samhita is also saying that it is Artha Chikitsa. The whole of the treatment, 50% of the whole treatment procedures is the results is come from the Vasti treatment. You do it properly. Then Vastis also, there are mainly basically in my practice, I have done a number of Vastis, different type of Vastis we have done in many patients. Fantastic results, even many diseases like in Gridrishi, then so many diseases. We get number of very different fantastic results we get the Vasti treatments. Then even Snehavasti also given this type of whenever I use medicated oil. Snehavasti is the prerequisite to Kashaya, Purva Karma and Vamana Vidya to be done before administration of these Vastis. Particularly indicated in Kevalavada, Atyagnis and Ruksha personals. Acharyas have also noted contraindications of Snehavasti. So Snehavasti is also important also. But usually the Snehavasti and Kashayavasti, even though Ayurveda proposes in many diseases, unless it is having a very prabhuda dosha avastha, you cannot do that. It's also it can cause many contraindications also. When you come to the Matra Vasti very common Vasti. It's a very small Vasti. You can see it's very popular in practice. This is very particular Sneha Vasti in small dose. That is otherwise a Hraswa Matra of Sneha. This is administered to Kala age, irrespective of anything you can give this Matra Vasti. So in many places, Matravasti is prescribed. Oil or Gandharva Eranda, Andambamradi Eranda, Pippiladi Daila. Basically, Pippiladi Daila is given. Pippiladi Matravasti, Pippiladi Matravasti given many patients. It's actually produced the results of small type Anvasana there. So usually we give some 60 ml or even below 60 ml, 100 ml Avasti, we can give that. That's very important, very popular in practice. Even when we again come to Kashaya Vasti, this is done using the liquid mix of honey. Everybody knows that. Lavana, Sneha, Marching, Lavana, Sneham, Kartan, Kvatamadikrama. This is the procedure that sequence to be maintained. Administering chronic Vada, Vadarikta, chronic constipation, then intestinal disorders, Ashpari Roga, etc. This is administration after Anuvasana. This Vasti is administered morning in empty stomach. So Vasti, the administration actually Madhyanya, that is actually we give the Kashaya Vasti around 10 a.m. like that in morning hours or 9 to 10. Between that time is very important because Abara or otherwise you can say it is known as the without having much appetite. We should not give anything like that. We give very small food otherwise, very light food otherwise. That is the important thing. So that mixing also very important. This Kashaya Vasti Drava, actually, Vasti we are, the quantity of Vasti Drava is very important thing. Even the mixing of the Vasti is very important. The honey, beginning with the honey, then add the Lavana, then Sneha, then Kalka and Kvata. This is the sequence in mixing of the Kashaya Vastis. So unless, if it is not properly mixed as per the text, it cannot be a colloidal situation. It will not become a colloid. The oil and kasha will become two different layers. That Vasti Drava is not good for applications. That's very bad. Also, it can cause complications of the Vastis. So, the indications actually Vadarekta, then Gurma Ashmari, Anartava, Vadabhyatis, all these things are indications of Vasti Chikitsa. So in Vadarekta is a very commonly we are prescribing the Vastis. Like there are very different type of common Vastis are prescribed. So regarding the quantity of Vastis, the quantity of Vastis there are different types. There are Dwadasha Prasarada, Dasha Prasarada, Nava Prasarada Vastis are there. Usually this is very much, Nava Prasarada is of 36 ounces, that is 1900 ml. This much quantity of liquid is administered through the anal canal using a bladder-like instrument. There are a lot of precautions of preparation of precautions to be taken to the patient before Kashaya Vastis. So here, Dwadasha Prasarada means 12 Prasarada. That means 36 ounces. Prasarada will be 30 ounces and 9 Prasarada will be around that much. So,
Participants, I
hello?
request you to stay muted. to maintain the decorum of this webinar.
Hello?
Yes, sir, you can continue, sir.
Oh, okay. So Dasha Prasarada and Dwadasha Prasarada and Navaprasarada Vastis are described in text. But usually in our practice, the Dwadasha Prasarada Vastis are very rarely used. Why? Because it is the present condition actually very important. Usually we prescribe the Navaprasarada Vastis. Navaprasarada Vastis is very commonly prescribed. Navaprasarada Vastis means actually 9 into around 1300 ml like that. It comes 36 ounce. Navaprasarada is of 36 ounce. Navaprasarada is of it's the Adasha Prasada. Navaprasada is the minimum of that. It never comes 36 ounces wrong, I think. So this quantity is actually given through the anal canal. So one Prasada is of 3 ounce. So Navaprasada will be 27 ounce, not 36 ounce. That's the this 30 ounce. 1 ounce will be the changes will be there. So that we have to calculate with the into 30 or 25 like that. So Navaprasarada Vasti will be more safe, I think. In my practice, we used to do Navaprasarada Vastis. I think it must be around 27 into 25. Twenty-seven into 25, around 675 ml. So Navaprasarada will be this much ml. This is good, I think. Suppose maximum 700 ml. And this Kashaya, earlier I told you regarding honey, marching and levanam, sneham, kalkam, Athamadi, all those things to be totally this much amount will be given. So this will be more safe also. Then coming to the recurrence of the disease is totally prevented here. Supposed to be the most powerful management. According to Ayurveda, we say it's the most powerful management of management. The ingredients of the Vasti Drava varies with the diseases and patients. Karma, Pradhana Karma, and Prasad Karma, next putting the Vasti Karma. There are a number of different type of Vastis are given. Then coming to the number in Vasti, Yoga Vastis are there, Karya Vasti, Karma Vasti, and optimal symptoms like Samyak Lakshana of each Vastis we observe. So usually Yoga Vastis are very common nowadays in our practice. It is around 8 Vastis, that is 3 Kashaya Vastis and 5 Sneha Vastis are given. So it's very common in nowadays. Actually, the properly commonly used Vastis are there, especially like the Mathuvailika Vasti. Yabana Vastis are Mathuvailika Vastis are the very common practice. It is Rasayana, Gulmahara, Prameha, Arshis, colon diseases. Mathu Tailika is very commonly used in practice, and does not produce any sort of harmful, dangerous effects also. Vasti Vyapat is very less in Mathuvailika. Understand? The Kashaya is the Erandamala Kashaya is used Mathuvailika, whereas Erandamala Kashaya is used. Then Marchigam Levanam, Sneham. For Sneha, we use the Pipilai Tailam. So Marchigam Levanam Sneham, Kalkam Sadava is used for Kalka. Erandamala Kashaya is used. So basically, Mata Eliga is supposed to be the very commonly practiced one, and it is very much useful in many conditions, many colon diseases, Rameha and Arshis also. Then Yabanavati is also there. And in Yabanavastis, usually, apart from Marchika and Taila and Lavana, Grida Mamsaras are added. That's the Yabanavastis. Leave the pain in thighs, genital region, bladder region, and anus region. So this is also good for in some sort of, the back pain, the spinal disease management. We use the Yabanavastis in many ways. Their Krida, Mathu Krida Taila is used also there. Mathu and Krida is used in Yavana Vastis. The Krida we can use as Induganda Krida, whereas the Taila will be Pipilai Taila, Levan, all those things. And instead of Kashaya, we can use the Mamsarasa. So, these are the very important, commonly used, practically seen. Otherwise, you can say the which are very practically used. Then Gomutra Vasti is also there. Gomutra Vasti is Gomutra Kwada prepared in Dashamula, then Triphala, Kalka, Sayantava, Machika, and then Thaila indicated Kaparogas, Pandaruga, and Gantha, etc. So, the Gomutra Vasti we can give in Medo Rogas, and Kapadiga, Kapasari Rogas we can give. Gomutra Vasti we do it in many my practice also. Many ways, many patients we are doing this in Gomutra Vasti. And even more than that, this very commonly practiced was this Vaidarna Vasti. Vaidarna Vasti is very much commonly used because we get number of patients like back pain, spinal disorder, disc collapses, and all those things are coming here. And after Vaidarna Vastis, we get tremendous relief. Sure, cure is there with Vaidarna Vastis in many conditions, many spinal diseases, low back pain. Even the Saintava, Taila, Guda, Kalka, the Namliga, cow's milk, these are all the ingredients. Indicating hip and lower back pain, spinal disorders, Amavada, Vridrasi, infertility. So these are very commonly, this vasti is very commonly used in, commonly administered in many of the conditions as explained here, hip and lower back pain. And depending on the presentations, we can change some of the ingredients. Even for thyroid, we can use, even instead of Pipilai thyroid, we can use Dhanudra thyroid or Savijraya thyroid. If there's a radiating pain, I used to add Sagajraya thyroid in Vaidarnavasti. And if there is that much of, very much of Amavastha, then we can use Chinjaya thyroid, we can use, or Pipilaya thyroid, we can use. So this much of indication in spinal disease, very much effective in such conditions. Then this vasti is very important. Ardhamatrika vasti. Among all vastis, Ardhamatrika vasti is Sreshta vasti is called. It's known as the considered supreme vasti or Sreshta vasti. The advantage of this vasti, I think, many of the practitioners are not practicing this Ardhamatrika vasti. I don't know what the reason, because many are using Madhuvili vasti. Ardhamatrika vasti is a very important vasti and supposed to be the ideal one. Ideal, and so I consider as the Sreshta vasti. And nothing other than Dashamala Kashaya is said there. I use very lucidly in my practice, Ardhamatrika Vasti. Yes, you see, the normal other ingredient, Dashamala Kashaya is the only one. It is indicated Vadarekta, Shobha, Kushta, Mutra, Ashmari, Gridrasi, infertility, and Sannibhada Vigaras, even Rasayana, and they considered as irrespective of anything. So safe. Pangasana says that it is so safe. Don't consider any variables. That's the important thing. You can use it any time, no age, nothing like that. So this is very important, and everybody should practice the Ardhamatrika Vasti. Why not? I think in many places I suggest this Vasti to be done in many patients, because this is so safe also. Even Erandamolek Vada, instead of Erandamolek Vada, we add Dashamolek Vada. And all the other ingredients like Machika level of Sneham, all the things are same. In the Machikam level of Sneham, we can use Pipilaya Dairam, Kalkam Sadava, Kashaya, Dashamala Kashaya. So only that in Madhuvaliga, if you displace the Yarandamula with Dashamala Kashaya, that becomes Ardhamatrika Vasti. So this is very important thing. I think this Vasti everybody should practice. I advise everybody to do this in that practice without any fear or any fear of complications, any vestigia, but nothing. I haven't met with anything like that in my practice. Then there are some Rekta Shamana Vastis also. This Alpamara, Kashaya, Machugata, illegal kicks, indicated various blood disorders. This also I have done certain allergic skin disorders, even certain antibody reactions. Like the Laktaja Vigaras, Laktaja Shamana Vastis are there. And another interesting thing is that in many Vastis we can use Shamana Kashayas. There are some very important things. Shamana Kashaya, as you can see, like for example, the Shamana Kashaya, you can use the Samijradi Kashaya. And Induganda Kashaya you can use, even Tiktaka Kashaya you can use. So Shamana Kashayas also we can use for Shamana Vastis in many ways. So while we consider the Yoga Vasti like that, three Kashaya Vastis by explained like that. In three Kashaya Vastis, one should be Vikleshana, the other one has to be Swadhara, and one of the Shamana Vasti like that. Three different purposes. So like that, different yogas we can administer in many places. So this is a very important thing. So the Shamana Kashayas we can use, and this very predominantly very popular vastis like Ardhamatrika Vasti we can use in the practice. Very easily you can give results also. Then so the Vasti treatment is very important, and it gives tremendous results. And even we have prepared certain results like like the before and after management of the Vasti. Even I have seen that in high cholesterol it comes to normal. Even the creatinine becomes normal in kidney diseases. I have done certain lab investigation in the lab results are before and after Vasti treatment. So fantastically very tremendous results we can observe in certain conditions. But we must be very careful in the management of such disease, such conditions. Then coming to the Rektamosha. Rektamosha is not so popularly done, but many places we have certain areas. That area is the particular points in the body. Siravedam, Prachanam, Jalugavajaranam, Sugavajaranam, Jandravajaranam, expression of Vishetic blood administration, various blood situations, Vada, Pitta, and Pitta Kapha condition. So here there is a confusion there. Even I told you in the beginning that in Jora Chikitsa we have Rektamosha. In Gulma we have Rektamosha. So that context we have to be careful regarding that. A patient coming with a disease, we have to evaluate whether that Rektamosha is suitable for the condition. That we have to evaluate first one. So what is the context of Rektamosha? I will just explain that. Shidoshna Snigdha Rushade na Upashamiti. The condition, the disease process is not getting cured by the Shida Rusha Chikitsa and Ushna Snigdha Chikitsa. So either of the treatment will be ineffective. If we administer Shida Rusha Chikitsa, that may not be effective, it will aggravate sometimes. And suppose if the opposite we administer Ushna Snigdha Chikitsa, that also will not be effective there. That's why Acharya says the Shidoshna Siddha Ruchadi. These properties, this approach is not ineffective in the conditions. Like for example, in Jwara Chikitsa, it is explained that only. In Gulma also it is explained that. In Rektamosha also, you can see in Vadarekta also. Why Vadarekta starts with Rektamosha? Because we cannot have either Siddha Rucha Chikitsa or Ushna Siddha Chikitsa is not applicable there at the beginning. Because Rekta is Ashidoshna. Recta will be shaped by either Shida properties or Ushna property. Both properties are good for Recta. And Vayu is also same thing. In Vada Recta, you can see that. In Vada, by Shida administration, Vada gets Stambhana there. Whereas Ushna, when we apply Ushna, it will become expanding there. It's like a way. So Shida, Rusha, Ushna is not Ushna. Suppose if you apply Ushna Chikitsa, it will aggravate the Recta there. So the Rekta and Vada is in a complementary function in many ways. So in those conditions, we cannot say, so otherwise we can say, if both the applications are ineffective. Acharya says that you have to understand that Rekta is getting shaded there and do the Rekta Mosha there. That is the context. And immediately after coming over, a patient comes and do, okay, you do the Rekta Mosha like that. It's not good also. That's not good. We have to evaluate condition. That's very important. So then what are the benefits of Panchakarma? It optimizes and regulates the strength of power of digestifier. That's very important. These are Acharyas have described around 9 points. It optimizes and regulates the strength of power of digestifier. Then a complete cure of ailments with irreversibility. That's very important. Even even generally in Ayurveda, we get rheumatic conditions. In rheumatic condition, the Vasti is a prime treatment. Many of the practitioners do the Vasti treatment. Even I, in my practice, I've done number of Vastis in my practice, many diseases, various diseases, like multiple sclerosis, Parkinson disease, even so many diseases, very complicated neuromuscular disease. We have done Vasti treatment. Then there's a perfect balance of physical and mental activities. Improves the neurophysiological functions as never before. It improves the neurophysiological functions by Vasti treatment. I think there are certain centers where the biochemical studies have been done regarding Vasti treatment. It improves the anabolic functioning by cleansing all the channels, slows down the aging progression, and it gives us glow of the body, provides the healthy long life without any illnesses, boosts the power of immunity, and reduces the stress. So these are the important benefits of Vasti karma. Even many patients or even those who are swastha also can do the Vasti treatment. Swasthasya other swasthavrata also we can do those to have to have improvement of the health benefits. We can do that. So it's the ultimate treatment, otherwise we can say the Vata Vyathis and even the neurophysiological functions. It corrects the neurophysiological functions as never before. It is just a cure and irreversible management. That's a very important thing in Ayurveda. So these are the things I would like to tell you regarding the Vasti treatment. And among this, I just repeat again, Mathudeligam, then Gomutra Vasti, Vaidrana Vasti, Ardhamatrika Vasti. I'm just again coming to the Ardhamatrika Vasti. Ardhamatrika Vasti is very, very important. You can do that at any time, at any age, irrespective of anything. Like that, Margasana says that it is effective in many ways. Okay, I think I will conclude now. With 31.5 hours.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm just concluding now because
Okay.
we spoke in that manner, I think. So since the entire system gets cleansed and detoxified, the individual attains a rejuvenating and a refreshing experience, both physically and mentally. So the Panchakarma therapy for better health and performance will be good for everybody, for people, those who are seeking good health to you actually. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a detailed discussion on the topic. Before we actually conclude the session, let us see if participants they have any questions.
Yeah,
Anyone, if you're having any question, you can either raise your hand or you can put your question in the chat box.
Hello, doctor.
please.
Sir, Artha Madragavasti is more better than normal Kashayavasti?
Yeah, in my practice, Ardhamatra Vasti supposed to be very good in many ways. Because the indication is there that I suggest many places that you do the Ardhamatra Vasti in many places because it can give tremendous results without any complication or Vasti Vyapat. Even there is a Madhurika Vastis are the same thing. But more than Madhurika Vasti, you can prescribe the Ardhamatrika Vasti more effectively. That's my experience, my own experience. Not my own, there are people like that.
Sir, Kashaya mainly Dashamulam is used or any other Saptasaram or Rasmavaranda?
Dashamulam Kashaya.
Dashamulam Kashaya.
Other ingredients are the same. Like all the other ingredients are the same. Mathu, Thailam, Marching, Lebanon, Sneham, Karkam, all the same.
Okay.
Very simple thing. And it is indicated in Madarakta, Shopa, Kushta. Even today also we did 3-4 vastis, Ardhamatri vastis. Very, very interestingly. And they get very much improvement in many diseases.
Sir, how many days we can do Ardha Matragasti, like Yoga Vasti or?
Like Yogavasti, it is three vastis are there. Ardhamatri vastis, three Ardhamatri vastis you can do. In between you
Oh,
can
can.
do Snehavastis.
Oh, normally. Okay, sir. Okay, understand.
Like,
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you,
yeah.
sir. Thank you.
Uh, Anyone else, if you have any questions?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Please.
So while giving Abhyantara Snehana, how can we calculate the doses of the Sneha in ml?
How can we calculate?
The doses of the Sneha in ml.
Doses of Sneha actually, we start with the 60 ml. That is Rasisi Matra. Acharya said that there is Rasomatra, Uttamatra, and Avramatra like that there. But among that, just start with even below the Rasomatra. That means that the ghee which will be digesting with the 1 hour. No, 1 yama. 1 yama means, you know what is 1 yama? 1 yama, 3 hours. So create a dosage that will be digestible within 1.5 hours. That is Rasisi Matra. So that will never produce any complications. That's what Acharya also says the same thing. Understand?
Okay, sir. While calculating in ml, how much will be the first dose and second dose?
First, we can start with the 50 ml. Depends on the patient's digestive power that we have divided there. Dushyam, Desham, Belam, Kala, Anilam, Pragati, age, and all those things, digestive power to be examined. Accordingly, that's why we start with the Rasisi Matra. Right? The ghee, sometimes it will be about 50 ml or even 40 ml, 40 grams like that. So that will be, depending on that, we can see that after 3 hours, the patient will be getting, some mixed Lashnas. And then we can be assured that next day we can just increase the doses like that. That's important thing.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, now,
Will it be the same dose for all the days, or how many days we can?
hello?
Hello, sir.
Ah.
Will it be the same days for all days,
No,
or
no, no, same
we
dose.
should increase it?
Next day we can increase that. I have seen one patient that after giving 60 ml, next day also we have to give 60 ml because the digestion was very poor. And he did not produce that Udgar, some did not come there in the same day. So next day when we observed, he said that there's a belching is coming. Even that means that shows that it's not properly digested. So we cannot increase the dose there. So the observation is very important. And some patients we can see within after taking on the that's same dose after 3 hours, you will be telling that you want some food, sir. We want some food like that. No, like no poultry you can give, improve the Jatarakni like that. So it depends solely depending on the Jatarakni Pajana, we can increase the doses. And even more than that, we should be very careful that Amavastha is not there. Start with some Amabhajana Kashaya for 3 days, then start the ghee treatment. That would be very good idea. Hello?
Sir, is there any reference of such increasing doses or Vardhaman Matra?
See, why increasing doses means increasing doses, there is no such a reference, depends always on the condition of the disease, condition of the patient. That's the thing. We are actually we are conditioning
Sir,
the body. We are conditioning the body with a small doses and increasing it to have a bigger doses. That is the idea behind that Snehavan. Understand? Not to reach a Uttama Matra or heavy normal doses, we are starting with the small doses and we are actually conditioning the body to receive higher doses. Where we get the summation That's the thing. Otherwise, at the beginning, suppose when we give 300 ml, that will cause so many complications in the patient. It will not digest properly. That's the thing. We want to produce something immediately on the day, first day itself, suppose when we give 200 mg or ml or 300 ml like that. So we are trying to condition the body by smaller doses to have a bigger dose and have the Samyukta Krishnas. That's the idea behind that in practice. But generally 3 days people used to give 3 days Nehvana, then give Svedana for 3 days, and for 3 they give some other Shodhana therapy like that in practice. Hello?
Sir, can you please give an example of that for beginners like us?
Example?
Of that doses, increase in doses. How can we start the dose and how can we increase? Can you please give me an example?
No, like for example, we
Like
start with
36.
we start with 50 ml. The next day, sometimes we start with 75 ml, like that. Then 100 ml, and 125 ml, like that. Slowly we can increase. And some patients will respond very easily. Not only that, some patients will take more ghee actually, depending on their digestive system. Some patients cannot take that much of quantity, so we have to be very careful. That's what I told you. All the variables to be considered. And the day, most probably 5th day, some extent drashna will be observed usually.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, right. Thank you. You are from which place?
I'm from Nagpur, sir.
Where?
I'm doing CRAV in Nagpur. I'm from Kerala, sir.
Very good, very good. You are practicing there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Under Dhanraj Gavkar, sir.
Oh, very good, very good, very good. Thank you. So are you doing Snehapana there like this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How you are doing there?
We are like 30, 60, 90. That is how we are following.
Then after that?
And also like 40, 80. That is also
Okay.
up to 5 days, 7 days.
Yeah. Optimum symptoms is given. Then after that,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Svedana will be given.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Do you administer steam bath there?
Sorry, sir.
Steam bath.
Yeah. Steam bath is also there.
Yeah. I told you regarding steam bath just now. Steam bath always may not be good actually. Because too much fire is there, too much heat is there. That's when Ayurveda we have certain different type of Pindasvedas.
Actually, like in the form of Nadi Sveda, sir. Not like
will
steam
be
bath.
good. Yeah. Because all conditions may not be effective there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, please stop share your screen. Just
Hello?
click on the last third window.
Last year?
Last third window. Sir, there is a button like red, green, yellow, blue, Chrome browser. Just
Hide.
click on that.
Stop
Then you
sharing.
will come. Yeah, please click on that.
Stop sharing.
Yeah, sir, stop share.
Okay, I did that.
Yes. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, all the participants. Sir, I think we shall proceed for the full formal vote of thanks.
What is it?
The webinar was a great success. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So, once again, I welcome you all and I wish good evening to everyone. It's an honor for me to propose formal vote of thanks on 119th webinar of Gyan Ganga Knowledge Page, a webinar series organized by Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapith, New Delhi. On behalf of organizing committee, I express humble gratitude to respected guest speaker of the day, Dr. K. Sasidharan Kadli sir from Kerala, for his immense and knowledgeable explanation on the topic, Panchakarma and clinical practice. Once again, thank you, sir. It was a great success with you. And you rightly said that Panchakarma has no doubt become an important part of all the treatment protocols. And you beautifully explained and differentiated the different Panchakarma techniques and the procedures, especially the Patra Pinda Sweda and Potli Swedas, Elakidi, Podikidi, JPS, that is Jambir Pinda Sweda. So we cannot take one Sweda for any of the diseases because its mode of action and administration obviously differs from the other. And Vasti itself is a wide topic, and you have beautifully explained the contraindications and the indications of Vasti very nicely. And I hope each one of us, we have got a fair piece of knowledge that I can witness, and people, there are so many questions, they thoroughly enjoyed your session. So once again, thank you so much, sir, from the entire team of RAV, from all the gurus and shishyas out there. And now I would like to present humble thanks to wholehearted Padmotion Vedya, Dr. Devendra Trigunaji sir, who is President Governing Body RAV, for his blessings and continuous encouragement. I express humble gratitude to Vedya Manoj Nesriji sir, Advisor Ayurveda, Ministry of Ayush, for providing his immense support and guidance. We are highly obliged to you, sir. And I also extend heartfelt gratitude to respected Vedya and Dr. Kaustubh Upadhyay, sir, who is Director RAV and Advisor Ministry of Ayush. Thank you so much, sir, for your tremendous efforts for making all these events, a great success. And I must thank the organizing team of RAV, our IT consultants, especially, who helped us a lot with this session, and all the volunteers who work behind the bars to make these events a great success. And I am wholeheartedly presenting gratitude to all the gurus out there, all the shishyas out there who are joining us from the different parts of the country in spite of their busy schedules and learning. So thank you so much, everyone. And the topic and the speakers for the next webinar will be shared with all of you very soon. Till then, thank you so much and good evening once again. Thank you, everyone. And sir, I must say one thing, that no matter how good we are or not with the technology, but it is it is actually visible that how good clinician you are, how good academician you are. So thank you once again, sir. Okay, sir.